Howdy, paper engineers in training. As you can see, I've now got this mounted onto here. All right, once you get all of your work done on your blade, it's ready to be put on. Now I've got two pins that go through this that are on the inside of these two sheets of paper. This side over here and this side over here. Now what that does is that makes sure that this can't come out. All right, but it can still move up and down. Now, you also saw me wind these things up. All right, now what I have done here is I've got 4 layers of extra dense paper, and I made these pins. I made this retainers on here. Now, as you can see, this pin, straight pin, excuse me, there's the head of it right there. All right, this straight pin went all right through here. Now this piece, these fit on here just like so. All right, both of them. And what they are doing is, that's the wrong one. Oh, that's the number 1, this is number 2. And I have to do these on the correct side. Because each one is wound up different. It fits different. And so now, anyway, this is what's going to happen to these. I have to put a piece of paper to hold these in place. Okay, so this is where I'm at right now. So I'm showing you how these are going to work. And this is how they work, just like this. Okay, so now I take them back off of there. What do I need to do to make that work? Okay, so what I have to do now, there it is. I have to measure this through here. This is actually a 1/4 inch. Okay, so now I look for a 1/4 inch piece. I happen to have one right here. I think that's 1/4 inch. That's 1/4 inch. All right, so now what we do, and where'd my scissors go? Here they are. Wrong ones. Don't want those scissors, I want these scissors. All right, now I'm gonna look at this. This is 1 inch and 3/8. So what I've got to do is I'm gonna make this about 3/4 of an inch. All right, is that 3/4 of an inch? Okay, there's 3/4 of an inch right there. So we just cut this off here. Now I got to make 2 of them, one on the left, one on the right, one on the end. I got to have 4 of these. And so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I need to glue these onto here. Now something else that I'm going to do. Okay, this needs to be bent a little bit more. It has to fit on there just tight, because I have to lock that needle in place. Okay, so now we're going to put these down on here like this, and I am going to go ahead and get some Elmers on here, because what we have to do is we have to create a very solid piece, because everything with this build is going to be this stuff is all going to be inside of the build, and you're never going to be able to fix it again. And so what you have to do is you have to create a solid enough piece that no matter what happens to it, other than if you lose it in a lake or the bathtub, it's going to get hurt. Okay, I want you to learn how to build things that are going to last for your great grandkids to inherit. And it's just what I've learned how to do since I was a kid. My dad kind of beat it into me. Do the best job you can do when you're doing something. All right, and if you're not good at it, get better. And so I did. Now, that is what it looks like. Okay, now the thing about this is I have another piece to put on this side of it. But before I do that, I want to put some of this Elmer's glue and paper towel inside there, because what that's going to do is that is going to create the cement, and this stuff, I'm not kidding you, this stuff becomes cement. It's really amazing what a little bit of Elmer's glue and some paper will do. Okay, now that I've got that all mixed up properly, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add that right there. Okay, now the thing about that is that's all I can do. All right, this has to dry overnight for me to be able to do some more work on it. Okay, because the situation with this is, if you've got this cement drying and you mess with it and you get it pushed out of shape and you don't notice that you did that, by the time you come back tomorrow, it's done. You have to tear it out and make a new piece. What this is going to do is this is going to allow this piece to do this. But because you're making it into a solid part, once it's mounted inside of the chassis and reinforced inside there, it'll last for years and years and years and years and years and years. All right, because this is paper and this is a metal bar basically inside there. It's just like having a retainer bolt in something. Because it's a toy, it doesn't have to be super strong. This piece, though, does have to be that strong. And I've got to do that with both of these. Okay, now, since I can do this video ahead of time, I got to save these. So I put them in this little thing here, so I don't lose them. That way I don't have to try and make them again. Now, as you know, this is a needle. All right, it's a straight pin. Okay, so now what I have to do with that straight pin is I have to put paper over top of it. That way it cannot move around and basically get away. So what I do is we put glue over here on this piece of paper, just like that. And now I hold this pin down like this so it doesn't move. And we take this piece and we stick it on here just like this. And now what I have to do is I take this and I push it down and I squeeze it. Okay, so what I am actually doing is I am forming it right around the needle. And then at the end of the needle, I squeeze it with my thumbnail and then I push it down some more. Okay, so what this is doing is this is forming right around the needle. That way the needle over years can't move around and maybe stab something. Okay, because I don't know how long this stuff is going to be around. But by doing this to it, by covering it with paper this way, no matter how many times this thing moves, doesn't matter how many thousands of times this moves, that pin cannot go anywhere. Because it's not touching anything. It's in midair basically. So it's not touching anything. And let me see. That needs to be there. And so actually, because of what I'm doing here, I can't mess with this one until tomorrow. So I'm going to keep that right inside of here. That way it can dry and not get touched. All right, so, and I probably should have done this before, and I wasn't thinking. And so now, what I have to do is I have to take this other part, which is one of these right here, and I have to put it onto this. Yep. Okay. So, come on now. And you need to hold it for a little while to let it set. It's one of those kind of things that you just have to do. If you want your models to look good, like what is happening with this, you have to just take your time and do it right. And that's all there is to it. But I tell you what, this build right here is going to be about 200, I think, in 50 hours. If you work an hour a night, 250 days later, you got a completed vehicle. And right now, I've got 120 hours basically into this. And so that's the stuff you're going to learn how to do. Now, that is holding right now. And since I did this, I'm going to do another piece of this. And I'm going to get it ready because it's going to sit overnight. Both these pieces tomorrow are going to be dry. And I can go ahead and start filling the rest of it in. Because you want this cement, you want it to be, 80 or 90% of this gap in the back filled. All right. So there is that. And let me see something here. I want to make sure that I'm not goofing this up. Okay, that is actually holding on okay. All right, so now that makes your pivot points for your hydraulics. Yeah, okay, so now we're going to move on to another step. As you know, I've been working on the turret, okay? Because it's all part of the build process. Now, these still function properly. But this is the turret section that I'm working on right now. As you can see here, I have a gusset here and here. That was to give him a 90 degrees. And then I put some reinforcing paper in here and on the other side over there. And so, because what happens next is, I already made these two pieces. Okay, now, these two pieces have got to go onto this here, because this is the front of the turret, and I want to make sure that these have to attach very strongly to this, because you've watched me build this. Everything about it is super strong. And so these pieces, one on each side of here, are going to give you your foundation for you to be able to put your skin and armor on. And now what I want to do is I have to take some measurements at this point. I need to know what the distance, because this is the center point here. Turn this around. Okay, so that basically is 1 3/4 inches from this center point here to the center of this gun. This one over here is just a little longer. Okay, so this is 1 inch and 3/4 plus 1/16. Okay, so what has happened is, oh no, that is absolutely correct. They're both the same. Okay, so now I want to take and make a mark at 1 inch from center. Okay, 1 inch from center. Uh-oh. Okay, that needs to be out just a little bit more. Okay, that is right. All right, now we're going to look at this. I think this is going on there, but one of the things I've got to check is, are they lining up right? And they are lining up right. Okay, so now we want to hold this, and it's very difficult to hang on to this and get your measurements, but what I want to see is, how is this piece going to match up to this one? Oops, come on now. It's very difficult. You need a third hand. Okay. Oh, you can't do it. You just can't. All right. So what do I have to do here? I know that is 1 inch. Okay, so that is 1 inch. Now I'm going to take some. This stuff is no good. It's all torn up. But I'm building a chassis part. This is all going to be inside. You'll never see it. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make it 1/2 inch. And the nice thing about this steel rule is it's a perfect 1/2 inch wide. And now we just chop this off here. Just like that. All right, now I know that that's 1 inch. Okay, so I need 2 inches, basically 2 1-inch pieces. And there's 1 inch and there's 1 inch. Okay, so now we've got that, and now we've got that. Okay, and so now what I do is, this just has to go together. Okay, and we rub it around a little bit, just like this, because you want adhesion, cohesion going on. Okay, so that now is going to fit in here just like this. Okay, so this is where having flat sections is important. I sand this piece here. Reason being, it's going in like this. And now we got to glue it in place. Just like that. Okay. Oops. I want that to be straight up and down. All right, now I got to do another one on the other side. So, and reason being is, now this is going to have something to glue to right here. All right, that's what you need. And later on in the build, I might put another piece up here on each side to tie them in, so that they become a solid piece like this in here. Okay, that's good. All right, everybody, that's kind of where we're at as far as the tutorials go. This is tutorial number 12. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this tutorial will be loaded up shortly, like tomorrow. I don't know. YouTube has been having a lot of troubles. I want to thank you all for watching my ads. It is helping me out immensely. And I hate ads too, and I know how you are, because doggone it, ads stink. But thank you very much for the ads that you do watch. They help out. And anyway, I have my DIY TV on Roku TV underneath the Moore Broadcasting Company, MBC. Thank you for going and watching me on Roku. And thank you for watching my TikTok show, The Real Paper Engineer. Thank you for watching my Dagwood builds, which I will be doing another one on Tuesday and Thursday. And thank you for coming to my YT channel and learning this very interesting hobby. You can build anything you want once you learn it. So take care, Paper Army. I will be back tomorrow for another live show. Good night. Sleep well.